What does it mean to live by your values? I think this is a very important question that we all have to ask ourselves at some point in our lives, if not daily. We need to ask ourselves if we are living by our values. I think to me, the opposite of living by your values is living in the moment and just doing what feels good in the moment without thinking about consequences. Of course, there are always consequences for everything. So living in the moment, I think, and living for now, and living 100% for yourself, I think, is the opposite of living for your values. I think the first step in figuring out how to live out your values every day is to figure out what your values are. In my experience, I've noticed that there is a discrepancy a lot of times between what we say our values are and what our values actually are. So, for example, I think in the Western world, a lot of us value comfort and safety. But I think, I don't know if we don't realize it or we don't want to realize it. So the best way I think to figure out what your values are to look at your actions and to look at how you spend most of your time and most of your money. I think that'll show you pretty much everything you need to know about somebody and everything you need to know about yourself. So for example, if I say that I value adventure and I value growth and I value learning, but then I spend 9 hours a day scrolling on my phone, watching Netflix, and I picked the safest job possible because it has good benefits, and I don't ever put myself out there. I don't ever do anything outside of my comfort zone. Then I think that proves that my values are not really what I said that they were, that my values are actually more, that my values are comfort and safety and not adventure and whatever else I said. So the first step is figuring out what your values are by looking at your actions, how you spend your time and how you spend your money. And then if there is a discrepancy, if there is a big gap between what your values actually are and what you would like your values to be, then you would have to start changing the way that you spend your time, your money, and how you act, right? And that over time will change your values to what you want them to be. So for example, if I wanted my value to actually be adventure, then I can start training, right? Like I could start working out every day and I could start looking for backpacking trips and that I can take, right? And signing up for more adventurous types of activities like bike clubs or like running clubs or going out on hikes or traveling to like places that are like natural parks and those sorts of places, right, that are more adventurous. And eventually my values will align to how I act and how I spend my time. I hope this all makes sense.